Yo, what's up? So it's Princess.
And Sunita.
So we on here today because we wanted to tell you guys our, our story dealing with acceptance, and it's Pride Month, and this line right here was dedicated to her. She created the logo. This is my brand. Our story inspired the line, so I thought it was only right that we share our story. So we just gonna start from the beginning. I met Sunita through a mutual friend, Nikia. We were at our house party. On
It was like a New Year's Eve house party. She used to have like annual New Year's Eve house parties that used to be lit.
That shit was lit.
Lit. When I tell you lit. And yeah, I remember walking in the door and I remember seeing Princess and I'm like, damn. I remember pulling Nikia to the side and telling her, damn, she's so fine. And then, of course, Nikia told Princess, and then it was a wrap since then.
Yeah, so we kicked it off. We messed around for a good, 8 years before we officially got together. So we officially got together in 2014, February 15th, 2014. We actually were doing Valentine's Day, and we celebrated it with 2 days. She celebrated on the 14th, and I celebrated on the 15th. And
not separately. We the 14th was my day to do something for her, and the 15th was her day to do something for me.
Right. And I set up a scavenger hunt picnic for her, and I asked her to be my girl, and we went from there. But the story, it got a little rocky between, me and her. We had some, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't shit,
At all.
I did the wrong thing. I was acting up, but, she was about to leave me, so I had to tighten up.
Well, I did leave her. I moved out. It's not just about to leave. I did leave her. I moved out, moved back home to my parents' house, and then I'd say maybe 3-4 months after moving out, she asked me to move back. And I said no, because at that point I had got a taste of my little freedom. I wasn't stressed about her ass doing what her butt, sorry guys, stressed about her doing anything, and me being home, not away from my family, because obviously my family at that point had no clue what was going on. They weren't really for my relationship at that point. So I was basically living with her and alone. I really didn't have anybody to talk to except my friends at the time. So it was tough for me. It was a hard time in my life. Going through that, dealing with, my family not really being accepted to it up front because of, how we all were raised. We were very deep in the church, and I would say it was more so religion that really kept my family apart from, accepting us as one. But it was hard for me. So when I moved back home, I was around my family, I was around my friends, so I felt at home, and I didn't feel stressed all the time or sad all the time. So I was not ready to go back into that lifestyle.
So anyway, she told me no, and I asked her to move back, so she told me no. So I started bugging. I hit my best friend up, and I was like, yo, babe. She said she don't want to come back, so I gotta do this quick. I gotta get her back. So
and shout out to Keyshawn, because she was I needed to leave her, that she was wrong. That's a real friend when they gonna tell you that you wrong.
Yeah, she definitely told me. Her and Monique both told me that I was wrong, and they helped me out. I surprised her. I got a hotel for her or whatever, and she didn't think I was gonna do nothing. She didn't even think I was gonna try to come back. But I ended up, making the 360, and
180.
I won it.
180.
No, I made 360.
A 360 is back to square one.
I'm sorry. Oh, 180. I'm sorry, 180. So I made it 180, and I changed for the better. You feel me? Because I wanted to be committed to her. I was struggling between, wanting to commit to her completely and not wanting to commit to her. But when I did commit to her, we moved in. We was living together. She moved back in, and we was good. But the only thing that was really holding us back was she was in the closet, and I wasn't.
I wasn't deep in the closet.
Yes, her family did not know. at all.
They knew, but they didn't know the extent of it. So I was in the closet to my family. Yes. That's it. Because everybody else knew, like my friends knew.
Her family did not know.
My sister knew. But
so anyway, she was in the closet and we was going up and down because she was catering more to her family's feelings. And me, I've always prided myself on, when I first heard gay, I jumped out. You know, my family was all accepted to it. It was only one person who wasn't accepted to it, and I respected that. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it wasn't as hard for me to switch over as it was for her. But because I love myself and who I was willing to let her go so she didn't have to choose between me and her family. I would have made a decision for her because, you know, she loved her family and I respect that. And I was gonna walk away so she could be okay. And a lot of people said she probably wouldn't have been okay because she loved me, but she was still trying to satisfy her family. So at that point, you know, she decided she wanted to tell her family.
So I don't know how I told my family. I just told them. I remember telling my mom or bringing my sister in with my mom and telling her, you know, I'm going to be with her. This is, you know, who I'm with. My dad was always supportive. Like I know he struggled with it within himself for a little while, but he never expressed that to me. He was just always like, you know, very supportive from jump. And, you know, my brother, he struggled with it a long time. It was a major issue for my brother. But, yeah, so I don't really remember, like, ever being able to come out, like, the way that I wanted to, because situations happened with my family, and I was, like, kind of, like, outed without being able to out myself. So I had to come back around and say, you know, well, this is what it is, you guys. I'm going to be with her. And, you know, at that point, it was like Thanksgiving one year. She came over to my house and she met my family. And, you know, everybody loved her from jump. Well, not everybody.
Not everybody.
My brother didn't love her from jump, guys, but he came around. It was a rough road. It was a rough road, but he definitely made a 180, like complete 180.
Yeah, it was definitely rough at first because for me, I've never been with somebody who wasn't completely open. So it wasn't as hard for me as it was for her, but watching her go through it was hard for me because she's crying, you know, she's fighting with her family, and I'm like, damn, like, you going through all this because you love me? And like in my head, I'm just like, listen, man, if it's gonna be like this, we might as well just call it quits, because I want you to be happy. I don't want you to be miserable. There's no way you're gonna be 100% happy if you fighting with your family and, you know, we together. There's no way. So I wanted her to be happy and decide this is what she wanted to do. So, you know, she finally made the decision that, you know, whoever don't like it, don't like it. And, you know, I know that was hard for her, but she womaned up and she did it. And it ended up being one of the best decisions in her life, because ultimately she could have lost me because she was afraid to come out to her family. I know some of y'all might think that's wrong, but for me, I felt like I'm not gonna stay here because I'm important too. And for me to be happy with me and live my life, I need to be with somebody who's open and whose family knows and whose family is accepted to it, or if their family's not, they're okay with that and they're able to move forward. So that was my big thing. But as far as like her acceptance story, but that shit was rough.
It was very rough. It was rough. And, you know, I don't know how to put it into words. It was just rough. I don't like to talk about it because, you know, it makes me very emotional. But it was rough, and like if I wouldn't have put my foot down, I probably would have still been like very miserable and very like unhappy. And, you know, that's why it's very important for you to like put yourself first, and, you know, your happiness and how you feel about yourself, and whether it's your sexuality, you know, what you want to do in life, what road you want to go down. You need to like make it a priority to make sure that you are happy and everybody else falls in line after you. If they can't be happy, you know, then you got to make a decision. Well, this is what it's going to be. This is my life, and they either get with it or not. But I mean, it wasn't an easy road. It was very, very hard for me, because I'm close to my family. Anybody knows my family, we're close. Me and my brother were like extremely close, and that did, like, you know, play a major part in our relationship. Thankfully, things changed. My brother came around, and, you know, we're able to rebuild our relationship and, you know, get back to normal. But it did like put a big gap in our relationship. But again, you need to really know who you are and what makes you happy in life. And if that makes you happy, like, if that person or that job or that situation is going to make you the happiest you've been in your life, then you need to go with that, and everybody else needs to just fall in line. And everybody might not fall in line, but I mean, that's just a sacrifice of your happiness that's not worth it.
Whatever I say is, you know, like when she decided that she wanted to be with a female and committed to a girl, my exact words to her were, you know that you could lose your family for this. And she said yes. The one thing you have to accept is being a homosexual, and in the society that we grew up in, and that our kids are growing up in the norm, it's not normal to be gay. The church teaches you that gay is banned. Like, you cannot be gay. That's a discrimination. You get what I'm saying? But it's crazy that it's so much love, and when it's a love around, and love is around everywhere, you can't beat it. Like, literally, we got married February 13th, 2020.
No. What?
2019. Sorry. February 13th, 2019. I'm sorry. Damn it. I'm sorry. And I kid you not, we rekindled relationships. We made new relationships. And it was a beautiful moment. At our dinner after the wedding, I promise you, we had like 20 something people there. And literally everybody was crying, because the love was so genuine. And, you know, everybody was just like, I didn't even know some of these people felt like this about me. Like, they're like, oh, I love Princess. Da, da, da. I'm like, oh, that's dope. That's cool. You get what I'm saying? But this line is inspired by love, man. Like, regardless of whatever you're going through, you're gonna have love. People are gonna love you. There's somebody gonna love you. Might it be the people that you want to love you? Maybe not. But as long as you have love and you're living your truth is all that matters. Nothing else should matter. You have to deal with yourself every night when you in that bed laying by yourself. When you go out every day and you're pretending to be somebody you're not, that has to be the hardest thing in the world, man. It has to be the hardest thing in the world. So I just say, if you open and you're willing to live your truth, just live it, man. And don't give a damn about who like it or not. Because honestly, not everybody's gonna like it, man. And still to this day, I've been gay for like 15 years now. And I go out and literally we'll be walking in the mall and people are like hard out ass staring at me. She get mad. I just be like,
I get mad because it's just rude. It's like rude. It's very rude.
It is rude, but you know, like, I guess people are trying to figure it out. I don't know. But for me, I just say live your truth. Live your truth regardless. Don't let nobody shake you out of living your truth, because you have to deal with you. When you die, you gonna die alone. When you go to them gates of heaven, you going to them gates of heaven alone, bro. Ain't nobody going with you. So who don't like it? I'm gonna say F them. I want to say the other word, but I'm gonna say F them. But that's our acceptance story. We ain't want to go into detail, like too much detail, because it is a little emotional in this. You know, some stuff we don't put behind us, but it was a rocky road. But look at us now. We made it. We married. Her family loves me to death. And
oh my God, it's so much.
I love them to death. They're super amazing people, and there's nothing in this world I wouldn't do for them. Vice versa with my family loves her to death, and we just happy, man. We just happy. So we want to thank y'all for, you know, supporting the line. Whoever supported, anybody who reposted it, talked about it. Yo, this line is a lot, man. And Pride Month is not just for the month. It's just big in this month, but it's year round, man. Love wins. Regardless, love wins. Peace.